slice of Cuba. Hello, everyone. You gone? Hello, I think we're on the air. Now let me get things all plugged in here. So we're still here, somehow, miraculously. I'll be hoping to get a rebate from T-Mobile, but in the meantime, we'll restart our show in just a second here once I get everything wired up. Okay. All right, is everybody ready? Well, we're still 10 minutes early from when we were anticipating to start, so let's just fire this thing up again and see if we can get it working right this time here on Runway DFW at large. Stand by.
Broadcasting live around the world from Owen Roberts International Airport in the Cayman Islands. This is Runway DFW in colour.
Well, you just heard him. That was Warren, our announcer from Australia, letting you know that we are in a different place today, the Grand Cayman Island. I have blustery Tuesday afternoon here at Owen Roberts International Airport, and we're here to bring you some planes. Now, we won't get as many planes as we normally do at DFW or Love Field, but I think we'll still have a good time, so thanks for joining us. So there is the tower, the squat tower at Owen Roberts International Airport. Thank you for sticking with us. We had some technical issues going into our early broadcast, and so I think we have resolved them. Thank you, Beaker and Honeydew. Susan Stone is ready. Beaker and Honeydew with a reminder for you. Yeah, we might have some bumps in the road here. And I do have to say, Beaker and Honey, we're not broadcasting at 1080p today because of our data limitations. So we're in 720p. That's still pretty high definition, but not quite. So let me take a look at flight radar here. It's not as jam-packed with aeroplanes as, again, a major international airport. In fact, right now I only see 2 planes on the radar. One of them is a Cessna Citation Sovereign, which is over there somewhere. And then the other one is going to be an American Airlines plane, which we tried to talk about on our initial broadcast, or our initial try. I guess the earlier portion of this same broadcast. I'm dialing that in now on camera number 2. And there it is. It's an American Airlines Airbus A319. It is going to Miami. And let's see what its schedule is. Scheduled to leave at 3:36. So just a few minutes from now, it'll be pushing back. Gerard, there's Gerard in the Netherlands. You need to go more on vacation, so there will be more live streams at a more human time. Yes. In the Netherlands, when we almost, I don't know, most of our broadcasts, at least in the summertime, in Dallas-Fort Worth, come on the air somewhere around midnight or later in the Netherlands. So we're so glad to see Gerard here, one of our mods. I see the random spotter here sticking around with us. There's Lester Graver saying good afternoon to everybody. Boardinko 90, love the Cayman Islands. And we should say, right below us, well, we're on the, I gave a plug to our hosts here just a little bit ago in our initial stream, which was just not going very well. So let me reiterate the fact that we are at the Glow Salon. We are right outside on their patio here. And so you come here to Cayman, get your nails done, get your feet taken care of, squared away. This is the place to do it. Thank you to the Glow Salon for offering us the option of being on their little patio deck here. We are in Grand Cayman Island, which is 1,348 miles southeast of DFW Airport, where we normally hang out with you. As you can see, it's not far from Miami, just around the corner from Havana, and Cancun is there to the left of us. But it's a pretty isolated place, and there's a lot of commerce that comes through here, because Cayman Islands doesn't make very much in the way of stuff, so almost everything has to be imported. Wow, Beaker and Honeydew doing some nice promo work for us today. Thank you, Beaker and Honeydew. I see Josh Aldrich in there too, one of our other mods and Quadjet channel members. Thank you to you. Yes, I'm sporting today it's kind of hidden behind the camera work today, isn't it? There's my Runway DFW t-shirt, and we've got hoodies and hats. Oh, I've got my hat as well. So there you go. Now you can see here in the Cayman Islands, if you look very carefully, you can see that the cars are driving on the left side of the road, as they do in England, which is got some affiliation with the Cayman Islands. You look in a public building, you'll see a portrait of King Charles now on the wall. Joshua Leclerc saying hello. We're still looking to see some action on that 737. Now let me see if I can dial up here the activity we can expect here. As far as arrivals go, the big arrival of the afternoon is going to be coming in at 4:50 Eastern Time. So about an hour, less than 90 minutes from now. It's a 777-200 coming in from London by way of Nassau. So the plane takes off in London, stops in Nassau in the Bahamas, heads over here, and then heads back in the same way. So it's a one-stopper if you're headed to London from here. And that's the biggest plane they see here, a 777-200. Now, There, I did read, I don't know if we can even see a little slice of the ocean, of the bay to the north of us. There is a plan afoot to extend the runway, and we can only see a little slice of it here. Extend the runway into the bay there you see in the right side of the screen. The runway here, does it say? Does it say? Well, I can give you some statistics. Over the next 7 days, there will be 158 departures here. The busiest route with 34 flights is between here and Miami. And I know American and Cayman Airways serve Miami. I don't know if there's any other airlines that do. The American Airlines 737 is being pushed, Airbus A319 being pushed back at this time. Oh no, Anna the dispatcher, our friend and moderator, says, so remember how over the summer I worked a bunch of days in a row and got sick? Well, I just did that to myself again. Currently getting over strep throat. Very sorry to hear that, Anna. That is not, strep throat, not a fun thing to have. I think everybody's suffered through that. Ascending Dragon 1 is also here with us. The husband of Anna the dispatcher and also an American Eagle pilot. Greetings and felicitations from Casa Bueno Sourdough Bakery. Sounds good. Storm Chaser Mark says hello. Good afternoon to you. Uncool Robbie says, is that a Convair? Yes, we will get back to that. Let's see, I was going to see, departures. I'm having some problems with flight radar. Let's see here. So we've only got this American Airlines plane. This is the list of departures. We've got a Cayman Airlines plane to Cayman Brac. That'd be a propeller plane. Got a United plane to Houston and a British Airways to Nassau. That's the only planes I see on the departure list right now. As far as arrivals, .345, we can look forward to a MAX 8 coming in from Kingston. That will be Cayman Airways. At 4:05, well, let's see, estimated 356. Cayman Airways from Miami. At 4:05, a MAX 9, sorry. United Airlines plane. And then we've got a couple of small aircraft. One of them, a de Havilland Otter, which the last one I saw here was like 47 years old, so it's a pretty old plane. And then at 4:50 is when we're expecting to see the big 777 coming in from Nassau. Patrick Lloyd says hello, everybody. Hello to you. Where's our private jet? Our private jet consisted of a Boeing 737 coming in from Dallas, Fort Worth. The aircraft was a nice aircraft. It left a little bit late because the plane coming in from, I think, Guatemala City was the originating point for that plane. So it came in a little late. That pushed things back. But we didn't really have, we weren't set back a lot. I think we wound up being about a half hour behind schedule, which, given the current situation, is not all that bad. You can probably hear there's a pretty good wind. 16 miles an hour out of the northeast. 79 degrees Fahrenheit is the current temperature. Now my watch is telling me the wind is coming out of the northwest at 27 miles an hour. So I don't know what to believe. Brandon, yes, we're filming from the Glow Nail Salon on Crewe Road, C-R-E-W-E Road, which is on the south side of the airport. And we're battened down as much as we can. But if it starts raining, we may have to vamoose in a real hurry, or at least try to get our gear out of the water. All right, here comes the Airbus A319. It's going to be coming our way, and there's no taxiways astride the main runway here, so the planes have to taxi down the runway to get to the starting point. At either end there's a little turnoff where they can either pause for incoming planes or outgoing planes. But yeah, there's only one way to get to the end of the runway. I would believe it if they said gusts are up to 27. We did get some rain overnight. The sea looked a little bit angry. So this plane once again going back to Miami. American does have, I was looking at the schedule, American has one flight from Miami, comes in late in the evening and then stays over and goes out first thing in the morning to, I'm assuming, to make connections with the rainbow of other flights that American operates out of Miami. This is a turn-of-the-century plane from the year 2000. I think we will lose it a little bit as it prepares to take off over there, because we've got some shrubbery in the way, tropical shrubbery. Although that looks more like New England shrubbery, doesn't it? It's some kind of a pine tree. Big gust coming through right now. And we lose it behind a pillar. Ah, we have some propeller action over there. That's the Convair. I was very excited to see that last time we were here. I don't know if it's that same plane, but it was that same airline, I believe. The FL Group. Is that what it says? Don't see this one on the radar yet. $182Q KFTW says, I didn't know pine was that far south. They have these trees, I think they're called casuarina or casuarina, something like that, which are effectively pine trees. They're sprinkled along the beach. In fact, right in front of where we're staying, there's several of them. Ah, the Convair, says Michael. Oh, I think you're right, Dr. Hayden, or Dr. Hayden. It says IFL Group. Still not making an appearance on the Runway DFW radar. We've got Cayman Airways Flight 603 coming in from Kingston, Jamaica, MAX 8, 6-year-old MAX 8. Just off the coast now. We should be seeing it momentarily, so we will deviate from this shot, but we'll definitely see this plane taking off. So now I see the other plane in sight. Well, I can see it, but our camera is blocked right now. But don't fear. I'll have that for you here in a sec. You saw my hand there. What my hand was doing was reaching for the end of the zoom lens, which I'm accustomed to dialing in manually with our big cameras that we use most of the time, especially at night. The cameras we're using today are both Panasonic camcorders. They're easier to travel with. They have very good zoom range. They don't work very well at night, though. get a little closer look at, yeah, there's IFL Group. Yeah, DR Hayden says muscle memory. That's what it is. So this plane headed out to the main runway. Definitely not a sight we see in the Dallas-Fort Worth area very often. Looking now towards downtown Georgetown. This is the capital of the Cayman Islands. A little spinaroo here. Hey, there's Wellington Flights Live. Hello, Kevin. How are you? Kevin just celebrated his 3rd anniversary at Wellington Flights Live. Congratulations to you. What an achievement. We are so happy for you. Let me give you some information about this plane. Convair 5800. This plane, 69 years old, dating back to the year 1956. When I was but a toddler, and still, I want to say going strong. This is going to Miami, flight 908. I wish I could stop all the traffic in front of us so that we could just hear exclusively the sound of this plane taking off, but unfortunately, as you can see, there's cars, traffic, trucks going to and fro right underneath our viewing platform. But, well, what are you going to do? Anna says my dad was just a year from being born at that point. Whereas I was a lad of 3. It sounds like a plane, but that's a motorcycle. Brad, I don't think I have, well, you know, I do have a 1956 jingle. But it would be used so rarely that I don't have it loaded up on my iPad. Let me see. Can I do that? It's there somewhere. is. Search for 1956.
$19.56.
Well, there you go. That was even more spectacular than I could have thought. And so the Convair was waiting for this jet to land. And once this clears the runway, then it will have its chance at the skies. That was a blast from the past, John. Or this is a blast from the past. That's for sure. Well, that one gave us a little more opportunity to see it before it... Oh, now it's banking. I think we'll see it again. I think, yes. A little hazy out there today. Very nice. We've got Cayman Airways Flight 105 coming in from Miami. Another MAX 8 on Runway DFW, live from Cayman Islands. About 5 minutes away is United Flight 763 coming in from Houston Intercontinental Airport. That'll be a MAX 9. Once again, that's about, well, it says about 12 minutes away. Everything looks deceptively close. And now it's starting to rain. I don't know if we can move our things back and be out of the rain or not. But yes, we're definitely going to have to move now. Well, let's see. See if I can get back here. No, the wind is blowing directly down our... the only waterproof camera we have here is this one. But the wind is blowing directly down, towards us here. And so I think well, we'll give it another moment or two to see if it clears up, if it's just a passing thing. I think our main camera lens has gotten waterlogged there. And Johnny says those dastardly sprinklers from Founders Plaza found me. I know. See if I can use my... Here's the other thing. I have on my key ring, I have a handy dandy lens towel, which has come in handy a number of times. However, because I don't need my key ring, because it's got my car keys and all the other keys that I don't need, I have that back at where we're staying. Well, the rain has stopped, mercifully, so maybe we'll be able to press forward. Just using my shirt to wipe off things that have gotten a little damp. That is the Cayman Islands plane, just came in from Miami. We're waiting now for the United flight 753 from Houston. That's about 8 minutes away now, I would hazard to guess. Anna dispatched says light rain for the next hour. Well, light rain is okay. I think it's the shower kind of rain that let's see if we can clear off that lens. That lens is okay. I was going to use this camera, the one you're looking at there. It's one of those action cameras that can go underwater. And I went snorkeling yesterday, but I didn't take that with me because I wanted to get my sea legs. And today was not a good day for snorkeling because of the wind. Brandon Rabbit says nothing is more of a dad move than taking one's shirt and wiping things off with it. Yeah. And there's Charlene, Mrs. Runway DFW, watching from our hut on the beach. It's like a thatched roof hut. It's not ours, actually, but it belongs to the place we're staying, and it's a thatched roof hut where I like to stay because the son and I don't get along too well together. So I hang out there a lot. I mean, I don't come here to get a tan, let's put it that way. So DR Hayden says Weather Underground isn't even showing a rain cloud in the area on their map. I'm guessing this is just a temporary thing. So we're on island time here at Owen Roberts International Airport, coming up on the top of the hour. So I guess before the United plane arrives, let us re-identify ourselves. You're watching Runway DFW at large from Owen Roberts International Airport in Grand Cayman, the capital of the Cayman Islands. And there's a picture of the One World livery of the British Airways 777. How many times can I say that? Which is due in here within, let's see, less than an hour from now. So hope you can stay with us for that. You know what I didn't do? I never put in our graphics today, did I? Never put in our clock, never put in our little blue meatball. So there we go. These are things that happen when you're on remote and you're doing things differently than you usually do. There's a 777 just about to go right over us. I don't think the ceiling would allow us to even try to see it. Oh wait, that might be it, because it looks like it's coming from... Is that coming from Kingston? Maybe that's our 777. All right, just moments from now, we should be able to see the MAX 9 United Airlines Flight 753. Thank you for watching Runway DFW today. Veronica Peters just came back from a Caribbean cruise. Well, I hope you had a great time. Let's see, why is that so crooked? Talking about a tripod here that you are not looking at right at the moment. That's not going to work. Right, so I do see the United plane in the distance. I can give you a brief shot of it here before it goes behind a pillar. KFTW says one of the Saabs is firing up. We'll take a look at that when this plane gets behind the pillar. By seeing Mrs. Runway DFW doing some Chamber of Commerce commenting for the Cayman Islands. See, there's that Saab. There's 757 Chip, one of our great channel members, Quadjet channel members, and friend of the channel. At this time next week, I'll be experiencing the daily 3 p.m. thunderstorm in Singapore. So we welcome United. Other airlines that fly here include American. We saw that earlier. Spirit. Well, was Spirit here? I don't know if they were. They probably aren't anymore. What else? JetBlue flies here. I don't know if they're here today, because a lot of airlines, of course, don't fly daily to places like this. In fact, our American flight from Dallas is a weekly flight on Saturdays, in and out. I haven't even checked to see what the situation is in the USA as far as flying goes today. I know it seemed like every day more aircraft had been grounded. And here's Lance Cole, Saab, which made that plane. Is an acronym for Svenska Aeroplan Atki Bolaget, in case you ever wondered, or Swedish Airplane Company. Let's see, is that plane on the radar yet? That plane is not on the radar. Here comes the United jet from Houston. Mrs. Runway DFW and I came here from Houston once on Cayman Airways. I think we took Southwest to Houston and then Cayman Airways the rest of the way here. That was probably, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago. And since Southwest doesn't have any baggage, or at least at that time they didn't have any baggage interlining with other airlines. You had to get your bags from them and then take them over to the gate where you could check in for Cayman Airways. That's the main terminal there, that building that looks like a half circle. The first time we broadcast from here, we were on the second floor of that building, looking out towards the apron. Craig Russell wants me to know that Qantas brand new A350-1000 ultra long range will fly up to 22 hours straight from London Heathrow to Sydney with an additional 20,000 liter rear center fuel tank and enhanced systems, and I believe, if I read also on that, with that plane, also a smaller capacity, so they won't hold as many passengers. There'll be more premium seating, I believe. I don't know if the economy seating will also be a little more spread out or not. Okay, we got this plane on the radar now. We don't have a destination set for it. It's a Saab 340B, the one with the propellers spinning.
$19.91.
And that's a 34-year-old plane. Just a spring chicken compared to that Convair, which was from 1956. Yikes. Kina Reno, it's Veterans Day, and she'd like to send a big shout out and thank you to any vets here today. We appreciate your service. And I'm sure that, well, I know that and I'm sure everybody here echoes those sentiments. So what you see there is the Saab 340. Behind it, in the hangar, there is one of the Cayman Airways Max 8 jets. I don't know how many they have. They have at least 4 or 5. Brent Baker says British Airways Flight 253, which is the 777 we're hoping to bring you, is now in the air at Nassau. It should arrive in just under an hour. Breaker says last time I flew into Grand Cayman was back in the mid-90s on a DC-3. Wow. Here's Josh Aldrich going by DFW Founders Plaza this weekend. There seems to be a lot of activity going on. Yes, not plane spotting activity though, because it's been closed now for about a month. In fact, we can, I think we can play you that. We made a little video, which we can play here. Make sure we're not missing anything coming in. No. So let me see if we can play. It only runs about a minute before we see this Saab take off. Let's see what we got here. We'll take that out so it doesn't interfere. And here we go. Start this again because I didn't have the sound on. So here goes the Saab, still don't know, at least according to flight radar, we don't know where this is going to wind up. But it's emblematic of all the freight services that are necessary for an island like this just to exist. So interesting going to the grocery stores and seeing just the wide variety of places that items come from. For breakfast this morning, I had a box of Kellogg's cereal from the U.S. With bread that was baked in the Cayman Islands, with butter that came from Brazil, and jam that came from England. International breakfast. Scott, we didn't really, well, you know, our flight was delayed by about 45 minutes or an hour taking off. But I believe that was more due to the fact that the incoming flight from Guatemala City was late. That's the plane we were on. So let's see if this banks to the left and we can get another look at it before it gets out of our sight. Yeah, it is banking. But not having much success getting it in focus. There it is. So since we were last with you, I'm sure you heard that both FedEx and UPS have grounded their MD-11 fleets, and I think they did that before the FAA issued a groundworthiness or an airworthiness directive, which effectively grounded them. So, and I saw Captain Steve, a YouTuber, the other day, saying that he's wondering if that means it's just the end of the MD-11 as a viable aircraft. And we do not know. But it might be a while before we see them in the sky again, if ever. Which is one reason we always would focus on the MD-11 as it would fly in and out of DFW Airport, simply because it is a plane that we know has a lifespan which may be limited by certainly by its age, and by the fact that it's not as efficient as other more modern airplanes. Now, one reason that FedEx and UPS may have continued to use it is because their planes are so old that they're, in I think most cases, paid off. So whatever additional expense accrues from having that third extra engine is offset by the fact that there's no more, whatever the equivalent of a mortgage payment is on an airplane. Let's see if I can identify this plane for you here. by looking at my cheat sheet. It is a Cessna Citation Sovereign. Beyond that, don't have any other information regarding its destination. Here's Luke saying it's sad to see about the MD-11. Hope it's not completely done for. Thanks for the support. So the Cessna Citation about to take off, and then looks like we'll have a bit of a lull as far as activity here goes. And there's some cement for you, ladies and gentlemen. Alistair Holt. I don't believe I've seen you in the chat before. Alistair, welcome. Hello from Carrying Place, Ontario, Canada. I'm sure the name of that town has a story behind it. Craig Oaks is saying that plane we just saw, I believe, is heading to Miami. So thank you for that. Johnny Dodge with an $11.11 super chat. Thank you, Johnny. As a Tri-Jet member, it hurts to see a mad dog go down. We see them every time Walt is at Founders Plaza. Thank you, Walt, for what you do for the plane spotting community, and enjoy your trip. Thank you, Johnny. Really appreciate that. Sean Bramlett says, nice to see you again here, Walt. Thank you. Lots of Cayman talk going on. While we await our next aviation activity, I think it would be a good idea, and it's just me saying that, to engage in our activity of looking at the names of our Runway DFW channel members, because we like to give them a lot of thanks. So let's do that. All right, here we go. Thanking the members of Runway DFW. As always, our list begins with Runway DFW sponsor, James Webb. Thank you to you, James, for everything you do to make Runway DFW go as smoothly as it goes. And when it doesn't, it's all down to me. Now, we shall salute the Runway DFW Quad Jet members, the highest level of membership. Thank you to each one of you. This list was prepared today at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, which is where we are, here in Grand Cayman. So let's get on with it. 757 Chip, thank you for being a Quad Jet member, along with Airplanes FRA. Alan J., Alaska Planes Spotter. Alice Mabel. Angela Smith. Anna the Dispatcher. Beaker and Honeydew. Bev A. Brian D. Charlie Bowles. CPB 99. Chuck TXK. Cloudy Sayers. Cubs win. Darren Sorello. David Rutherford. Doug Jackson. Drone Oki. Dwayne C. Eric Coupe. Haglers 17. HD Kraut. James Webb. John Lipman. Josh Aldrich. Katie Goodling. Kirby Brooks Sr. KS Avgeek. Leonard Watkins. Lori M. Michael Flannery. Michael Hale. Michelle R.S. Mike G. Only Planes Network. Patrick Wooters. Paul 1188. Thank you to Quad Jet members Pete Nordine, Payathon, Planes Everywhere, Raina Taylor, Rich F, S35 Bonanza Pilot, Sarah the Real Deal, Sean Bramlett, Skittles, Steve Lundaby, Texas Girl, the BNA Grinch, Tim Swearingen, TNT Oh My, Tyson Price, and Will Hutchison. Those are our Quad Jet channel members. And you will now, for the next few minutes, see the names of our Tri-Jet and Twin Jet members. Thanks to each of you for supporting Runway DFW. Rush hour. Kind of a wide-angle view of the thick cloud cover here. We're awaiting now the arrival of Cayman Airways Express from Cayman Brac. This will be flight 4008. They'll be flying on a Saab 340B. They'll be here in just a moment or two. Back there somewhere. There it is. All right, here comes the Cayman Airways Express as we're getting some pretty strong winds. So let's see how it lands. Lost our balance there. We're talking about that plane there. That's a 27-year-old Saab 340B on its way to the terminal area. There's no jet bridges here at Owen Roberts. We came off on a covered stairway, but there aren't. I think it was United that was operating with, you see that there in the background, that green thing, that kind of a ramp that lets you kind of just go down a ramp instead of a stairway. But I don't think American subscribes to that service here. I've never been on one of those ramps here, although the other airlines have used them. But that's where that plane's going to stop and let its passengers get off. So we'll focus in on what happens after the Saab lands here. If I can get it centered up a little bit better. There we go. (182Q) KFTW says Northwest flew Saab 340s and DC-9s to DFW in the 90s. This flight from Cayman Brac, just about a 30-minute flight. It's 100 miles to the east of here, Cayman Brac is. Just to give you a reminder of what you're watching. What are you watching? You're watching Runway DFW at large from Grand Cayman, specifically Owen Roberts International Airport. And we'll be hanging out with you until it gets dark. Now, it's going to get dark pretty soon here, I think. Well, it's 4:30 Eastern Time. Sundown is at 5:47. So we're going to try to at least get through that, or at least as far as we can watch the planes coming in. Thank you, Karen. Trying to get this centered a little bit better. That's a little better. Josh says the satellite truck better be driving on the right side, the correct side of the road over there. Don't worry, we have our satellite truck crew well trained. As I said, this plane came from Cayman Brac. Mrs. Runway DFW and I went to Cayman Brac maybe 15 years ago now. So I'm sure it's changed since then, but it was a lot less developed than Grand Cayman. It's a smaller island. Like Grand Cayman, it's mostly developed on the fringes of the island. There's a big part of this island, the central part of Grand Cayman, which is just woods, I think. I've never been there, but it's not been developed yet. And I don't know, maybe there's reasons why. But Grand Cayman is where Mrs. Runway DFW and I had our most incredible stargazing experience once. We went out on a pier. I think it was after we had dinner. We just kind of laid down on the pier and looked up at the sky, and as isolated as Grand Cayman is, Cayman Brac is even more isolated. Plus it doesn't have as many things going on, so it doesn't have as many street lights or cars or whatever, so the sky was just inky black. I mean, you couldn't look anywhere and not see a star. It was pretty amazing. Let me check in on our schedule here. As far as arrivals go, well, our 777 from Nassau is delayed. It was supposed to be here at 4:50. Now scheduled in at 5:17. So about 40 minutes from now, yeah. And there's only one other scheduled flight coming in, and that's another flight from Cayman Brac at 6:59. I don't know if we'll be here that long tonight. We do have a departure for Cayman Brac at 5:10, which is a half hour from now. That's the earliest action we have. And then the United plane we saw coming in from Houston will go back to Houston 5:45. And yeah, so we've only got about 4 planes left unless there's some surprises. So, Karen Glenn says, I've never seen a stream from the Cayman Islands, so this is wonderful for me. Well, thank you, Karen. We'll try to give you a little bit of now that we have some time to play with, we'll try to look around here and see things that, try to identify things for you. There's the control tower here at Owen Roberts International Airport. Guess it doesn't have to be very tall. Here's a look at the main terminal there, that semicircular building where the United jet and the Cayman Airways jet are parked. We saw an American Airlines plane leave from there today, and later this afternoon, the weather be willing, we will bring you the British Airways 777 coming in. We've only seen that one once. The first time we've been, this is now our 4th broadcast from this airport. 3 of them here. And I'll give another plug to our friends at the Glow Salon. And this is a recording, so it's a little sunnier day. That day we took that image. The Glow Salon, get nail salon, get your toes done, all that kind of stuff. And they're very kind to let us use that balcony there in front of their establishment. So thank you to the Glow Salon, the Glow Luxury Salon. Right across the street from us, or across the runway, I guess I could say, as I dial it up on our other camera, is Foster's, which is a chain of grocery stores here, one of several. And again, thank you to all of our channel members. We have now shown you all the names of all of our members as of 10 a.m. this morning. So thanks to each of you. Much appreciated. Put our regular clock back in there. So Foster's, yeah, they've got, pretty much everything you would see at a U.S. supermarket, and even a lot of other things because of the international nature here. There are a lot of British products, a lot of Jamaican goods. As we've told you before, the driving here is British style on the left, or British style, Japanese style. We were not fortunate. I did specify a right-hand drive car to be a little more compliant, but they didn't have any available, so we're driving a left-hand car in a right-hand world. But there are a lot of left-hand drive cars on the road here. But you also see a lot of other vehicles from that we don't see in the U.S. a lot. We've got especially a lot of Chinese vehicles. Chang'an is one of the manufacturers we see. See a lot of Suzukis that Suzuki pulled out of the U.S. market a while ago, along with Hondas and Toyotas. And there's some, American cars, a lot of American pickup trucks, Nissans. This red car coming up here, I think that's one of the Chinese ones. I don't recognize the badge on that one. It's getting darker here. Not good for our cameras. So we'll take you now to downtown Georgetown, which is the capital here. There it is, the skyline of Georgetown. As you may know, Cayman Islands is a big financial center because of the tax laws here. So it's a pretty, comparatively speaking, it's a pretty wealthy place overall. Very high standard of living. I think it's got the highest per capita income of any Caribbean country. But things do cost a bit more here. The the Cayman Islands dollar is pegged to the U.S. dollar at $1.25 U.S. So everything you buy for $1 here, essentially, if you're paying in U.S., you're paying $1.25 for. So that can add up. Here's Hans Olav Mork saying hello. From Scandinavia. Kevin says British Airways will be here at 5:17. Well, we're looking forward to that. We've got about a half hour to go to stretch out for that, but that's going to be worth seeing. Oh, Brandon Rabbit said that was a Daihatsu that I could not identify. Thank you for that. Daniel Jager, are you close to the ocean? Well, our position here is not. The closest we get to any water is a bay to the north of the airport here. Let me see if we can. Well, actually, it's to the east of the airport, I should say. But there's the bay, and they're talking about plans to extend the runway here into the bay. I saw the plans. I saw the right. It was like a 200-page report. But I don't think they've made any commitments to that yet. But that would let them bring in A330s, A350s that are problematic right now. Michael Reed wants to know, is this from your winter home? I wish. No, it's not. We come here as often as we can because we really like it here. But no, we don't have a home here. Our hosts who have the condo which we are renting, they are from Canada, and they have a home here now, and then they rent out this place, this condo to us. I guess it was their first home here. I see the Peacock A380 in here, and I say good evening or good day to you. Gerard is here, the voice of Runway DFW, WAZ Radio. I'm not Gerard. Gerard is not the voice of Runway. WAZ Radio is the voice of Runway DFW. Warren. Yeah, we did see that stairway on the move, Luke. And one reason I've never been here in the afternoon is because I was afraid that it was just going to be too bright, too hot, too sunny. But today it's total overcast here, almost pea soup-like. So we are very comfortable. It's 79 degrees Fahrenheit, but with that wind chill. Ooh, brr. So to reset, we are coming to you live from Owen Roberts International Airport in Grand Cayman. It's Runway DFW at large. My name is Walt. We travel around with our backpack and our carry-on suitcase and a couple of tripods, and that pretty much covers us for heading to places around the world. Well, we've only been here. We've been to LAX, we've been to Seoul in South Korea most recently. There's a little closer look at that other Saab. Well, I guess we've seen three now today. We saw a freighter take off. We saw this one is parked here. We saw the Cayman Airways Express come in from Cayman Brac. About to arrive now. We've got a Cayman Airways Express from Little Cayman. This is going to be a de Havilland DHC 6300 Twin Otter. And this will take us back to the year 1978. Do I have time to get a 1978 jingle here? Let's see.
$1978.
Well, there it is. It's a little premature though, because I'm not talking about that plane. We're talking about the Twin Otter, which is due in here in just a few minutes. 4 minutes it says here. Boatstone says, greetings, Walt, mods, fellow chatters. I see talk about coming to the 2026 version of the big event at LAX. Cranky Dork Fest. And I see that we may see Kevin there from Wellington Flights Live. We may even see Warren there. That would be super. Wow, Luke is all way ahead of the game here. H Hotel already booked and secured. He is on it. I can't plan that far ahead. But my intention is to be there or be quadrilateral. O'Malley is here with us. And he gives a big good day. Hello, O'Malley. Always great to see you here. I'm getting hungry. What's for dinner tonight, Mrs. Runway DFW? What? I think she would want to go get some fish somewhere, as we are in an island nation surrounded by water that is Usually a pretty good bet. So Luke's saying flights, not yet. Can't book award travel this far out. But the hotel cancellation policy is very generous, so I figured why not? That makes a lot of sense. Luke? Wait, O'Malley is live in DFW now? What? Things are backwards. Things are topsy-turvy. Well, if I interpreted your comment correctly, O'Malley, well, I'm very sorry that I missed you, but I hope you have a great time in the DFW area. Well, we're going to turn around now to see this de Havilland Twin Otter coming in from Little Cayman. Cayman Airways Express. Should be here momentarily. So O'Malley's typing live from Fort Worth-ish. Well, O'Malley, we're about 1,300 miles from where you are right now. Craig Russell reminding us that the big 777 200ER from London Heathrow, just 24 minutes out. Thank you, Craig. We hope to endure. Looks like the rain is kind of over for the moment. Darkness is not our friend. And the old Twin Otter with a little bit of twisting about there as it landed, but now we can play this, can't we?
1978.
There we go. Those singers can come up with just about anything on a moment's notice. So we'll give this Twin Otter a little bit of love here. Well, it's the top of the hour, and Warren is here with us, so let us do our top of the hour thing here at Runway DFW at large.
Broadcasting live around the world from Owen Roberts International Airport in the Cayman Islands. This is Runway DFW in colour.
Yes, the winds are blowing today, as we see the flag of Grand Cayman blowing in the wind there on the center of your shot. So welcome to, let's see, we've been on the air for, well, just an hour and 41 minutes. Seems like longer than that. But we're glad you found us on this unusual broadcast time for us. We're usually on in the evening or sometimes in the morning, but hardly ever in the mid-afternoon or late afternoon. So, yeah, here we are. The sky is darkening. That's weird. My watch is off by 2 minutes from the clock on my broadcasting device. I don't know which one is right. No. Well, we're here with our 3 cameras set up in a bag, watching the cars go by. Crew Road below us. We're on the south side of Owen Roberts Airport. It's right over there is where the airport is, just across from us. But yeah, I'm a little alarmed about how dark it's getting, because we need to be able to see this 777 coming in. Well, look who is here. It is our friend Skittles. Hello to you, Skittles, up there in the Great Northwest. We are glad you could find us here. Beve with a question for you. Flyer KG. This is quite a surprise. Well, we didn't want to announce it too far in advance because, well, you never know what can happen. Sometimes things do not go as planned. So today it looked like, it was rainy earlier in the day, and I got up in the morning thinking, well, this might be the day because the rain's supposed to stop in the afternoon. So it kind of did. We did get a little sprinkle, but I think we're okay for now. Robert Houston says hello to me and the mods and the rest of everybody out there. Thank you, Robert. Uh-oh. Just 5. You can't just eat one. They sound kind of good right now, actually. All I've got is my trusty bottle of water. In fact, I think I'll have a sip of water here. Where's this from? Benton, Tennessee is where my bottle of spring water is from. I turn this down so I don't slurp. But I do have to say it's a lot more pleasant here, up here on the balcony, than it was last time we were here. Because it was sunny and it was hot. We welcome Craig McBurney, who's saying hello to us from Edinburgh, Scotland. I do believe that American Airlines is about to or has fired up. I don't think it's started yet. Its first Airbus A321XL, whatever, service from, I think it's going to be Philadelphia to Edinburgh on a narrow body plane. Karen Glenn says, looks like the traffic in Queensland with the palm trees. Do you see, are there palm trees in that shot? I can't tell. We do have plenty of traffic. It is, I mean, I guess it must be rush hour. Seems a little early for, well, it's 5 o'clock, a little after 5. And it's a slow go here. I guess it's probably good that I don't have to go right now. And, well, we're just killing time here at Runway DFW at large, because we are waiting for our next aircraft. I do see it now on the radar. British Airways flight 253 from Nassau. Which that plane originated in London at Heathrow. It was scheduled to be here at 4:50. It is estimated to be here at 5:14. So let me do some quick mental calculations there. That's only about 6 minutes from now. I'm going to say it might be a little further out than that, but that's the main. Well, one of the main things we came to see is the British Airways 777. That's the largest plane that this airport currently deals with. And it's a daily flight, as best I can tell. You can start to see the runway lights are turned on as the skies darken. And that movement there, that is the tripod being moved by the wind without human intervention. Take another look now at a couple of the Cayman Airways planes, which are getting a little R&R there over by the hangar. Max 8 there on the right. So alert the Game Boy, I don't know the answer to that. The device which is providing the time typically gets its time signal from the network. So I don't know if something went awry there or not. So by my watch it says 5:08. And that clock there saying 5:10. I don't know. Maybe there's a tear in the fabric of the time-space continuum that we are dealing with here. Now there is now just to be clear, there is a delay even if we had the world's most accurate time on the screen, and I don't know that we do right now. It is, you've got about, you can count on about a 20 or 30 second offset from real time by the time our signal gets to you, because of all the digital processing that goes into a YouTube stream coming from where we are. And who knows that we're I don't know if we're going under the sea or bouncing up to satellite as far as our interconnection to you, so I cannot say for sure. If somebody below us getting on a bus. There's a public bus. She flagged it down, and there it goes. So I guess that's an option if you're traveling. I don't think Mrs. Runway DFW and I have never traveled by bus here. We always rent a car. So Beve has done something which I can't see. It's not showing up there. I don't know if it's I don't know what that is, Beve, but thank you for whatever that was. My computer doesn't always show me everything. Well, there's reverse ops from another island out there in the Pacific. That one. So aloha to you, Patrick, and we're glad to have you with us. Yeah, we don't have quite the volume of flying that you see there in Honolulu, and so if you haven't checked out Patrick's stream, Reverse Ops, hope you will, because it's worthy of your attention. Reverse Ops, of course, a proud member of the codeshare crew, consisting of Reverse Ops, the Random Spotter Luke, and Runway DFW, the codeshare crew. Baker and Honeydew, channel member and moderator, and with a thanks to all those who have served or are serving, and also thanks to their families, and especially those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. We salute you all on this Veterans Day in the U.S. Hear, hear. Well, we're still waiting for the big 777 in the sky from Nassau. This will be flight 253, British Airways. It is a 777 of a certain age, which we will salute after it lands. And that's probably going to be it for us as far as what we can bring you, because there's one or two other flights coming in or going out. The British Airways flight will go out in about an hour or 90 minutes, but I think it'll be too dark for us to see at that time, because we don't have our regular nighttime cameras with us here. So the 777 is now in our sights.
$19.97.
That's a 20th century plane. Michael Vlandre with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Michael. Luke says, where's that? Patrick and I were discussing earlier on his stream that we missed your invitation to Grand Cayman to do another Codeshare crew stream with you, Walt. Well, it's just kind of a Mrs. Runway DFW and me thing, really. In fact, I have to give, in addition to thanking all of you for watching and for memberships and for being a subscriber, and thank you to our moderators, I got to thank especially Mrs. Runway DFW for letting me get away and spend an afternoon out of her sight here at Owen Roberts International Airport. So thank you, Mrs. Runway DFW, for that. And here comes the 777. Once again, this plane originated in London. It flew to Nassau in the Bahamas, and then it came here. It's got to put on the brakes because this is not that long of a runway. We've got to do a little zigzagging to arrive at its parking spot. The largest plane currently flying into Grand Cayman. Parking right next to those old Cayman Airways express planes. And that is a Saab 340B there with its propellers spinning. It'll be headed to Cayman Brac in just a little bit. I guess we'll hang out for that. H-Dot with a flag salute. There's Teresa with a shout out to Mrs. Runway DFW. There's Mary Extraordinaire. Hello, Mary. Good to see you. Saying hello to everybody. And I should point out that we don't have air traffic control here. Now, they do have air traffic control here. And I even did bring a radio to plug in, but I did do a little research and found that it is not legal to rebroadcast ATC here in the Cayman Islands, just as it is in England. So that's why you don't hear it. We could have brought it to you, but we cannot. So Mary is doing well, hanging out with her cat Taz. Oops, he went outside. I hope that's not the end of Taz. David and Sandy says, must take a few minutes to unload a 777 via the stairs. Well, this is kind of the end of the line for this route. As we described, it comes from London, stops in Bermuda, and then comes on here. I would think that one reason is that they don't have to have as much fuel on board, so they're not as heavy, and it makes for a smoother landing. And of course, when they take off, they go back to Jamaica on a first stop, so they don't have to load up with a full transatlantic flight of or tank full of fuel. And you would almost think that they would roll up 2 stairways to a plane that big. In fact, I don't know that I think they did that with our American Airlines plane. Well, whether in aviation, there are probably websites that do that. I don't want to get on anybody's wrong side, right? You know what I mean? I'm happy to, if I read that is not permissible, I don't think anybody would come up here and arrest me if I rebroadcast it, but I don't want to make any enemies while we're here, so. So we have more cat talk. Skittles talking to the Peacock A380 saying, I'm standing outside with Handsome Harry, the new cat that showed up on my doorstep about a month ago, or a month and a half to 2 months ago. Aw. So I guess I'm seeing a couple of stairways there. Now getting in place. We also are about to see the, I guess we'll make this Saab 340 flight be our last. There it goes. Headed to Cayman Brac. Hello to Jane Welshie lady. Been a long time trying to catch up with everybody. Jane, I'm glad we're on at a little more reasonable time in your time zone. I guess it's getting kind of late now. So yeah, I think this will be our last aviation activity of the afternoon here from Owen Roberts International Airport in Grand Cayman. feeling some raindrops again. So Jane, where she is, 10:24 p.m. Oh, yeah, it's getting late. But we're happy to have you here. Navy Jack says hello to everyone. Saab power on display there. And I'm seeing if it banks to allow us to see more of it, although where it's going is in the other direction. So yeah, we will not see more of that. So I think that brings to an end another semi-action-packed day of plane spotting from your friends here at Runway DFW at large. Let me peek from behind the lens here. Hello. Well, I'll look over the lens, I guess. Thank you for watching. We need some music, don't we? Of course we do. We need some island music. That's what we need. That's not what we want. It's kind of become our theme here at Runway DFW at large. We're going to pack things up. First of all, I'd like to thank James Webb, our channel sponsor, for everything he does for Runway DFW. Thank you very much to our great team of moderators who have been with us through the afternoon. Tip of the cap to you, especially Gerard. We hardly ever see Gerard because we're on a crazy time, so thank you, Gerard. And but all of our other mods as well. We thank our channels, our members. We showed you their names earlier. Thank you for that. Thank you to our subscribers, and thank you just for watching. If you found us, hope you'll tune in again to Runway DFW. We'll be back with you from, I want to say, probably Love Field, probably next week. Well, it will be next week. I just don't know when exactly. We'll be back from DFW this weekend, or to DFW this weekend. So we're going to enjoy another couple of days here. Hopefully the weather, it's a little sunnier before we go. But now I've got to get in all that traffic, although I'm going the other way, so maybe that'll help. Anyway, thanks for watching Runway DFW from Owen Roberts International Airport in Grand Cayman, and we'll see you next time.
This is Warren Barnett speaking for Runway DFW, a Runway DFW production, all rights reserved.